Hi, Anti-Society! Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Mushi-Shi episode 15, and I'm so excited about this. I feel like, again, every episode that I get into with this series, I get like more and more invested in it. Not just like the storytelling style, but the way that we're pulling back more and more layers of Ginko and like what is a Mushi-Shi and a bunch of the world building and stuff like that. Like I think of the last episode with the bamboo forest and what is the cage? Is it like being in the forest or is it like being separated from the people that you care about? And there's so many things. Like I just have so many thoughts after I finish these episodes, and it's so much fun for me. In 3, 2, 1, go. This episode is also called Pretense of Spring, which, I mean, like, spring is usually positive because it's like new beginnings, but pretense makes me like feel a little bit ominous about it. But who knows? I'm assuming it have something to do with spring. Plants? Mushi are usually associated with like natural wildlife and what have you. That's really narrowed down though. We had a whole bamboo forest thing in the last episode, and that is a plant, so I'm just here for the ride at this point, you know? I also just like fully registered that the opening song for this is called Sore Feet, which I feel like fits so well with like Ginko, and who's like constantly traveling, right? Like he's always in motion. I guess I just never like fully paid attention. In my defense, there were like blobs of color in this opener, and that is enough to distract my fish brain. I'm just being honest. It doesn't take a lot. Ugh, don't show me. Don't show me snow. I'm so jealous. I can't wait for it to be winter. Fool spring, don't trust it. We have one of those in Canada too. Where it looks like it might be spring, and that's when you know you're about to get like just a bucket of snow. Yeah, that's probably not ominous. So I'm assuming this is the pretense. I love the way that they do winter scenes because when it's snow, it's like it's so quiet because everything's muffled. And that fits so well with living somewhere where there's like a bunch of snow. I think I'll always love the sound design in this show. Maybe that's just because we had the one episode about like deafness, and ever since then I'm like, you have my respect. Braver than I. I'd like to believe I'm a good person, but like if a random person knocked on my door in the middle of the night, I'd be like, I have no idea. Like, didn't see him, didn't know. I'd be very nervous if like I woke up and one of my family members or someone that I lived with was just gone. And also it was after I invited a traveler into my home. Like I would not be like, where could he have wandered off to? I would have been like, oh my god, what happened? Oh, his little like worried face though. Like I know that Ginko's a good person, but like she doesn't. The way that he's just like holding up like a feral kitten. A little bit of both, usually. Oh, so he's has a tendency to go missing. I would then be extra upset if I woke up and he was just gone. That would have been so freaky. So it's interesting that he like disappeared in the winter, found this like pocket of spring, and then he reappears with spring. I wonder if he doesn't actually remember or if it's just him like covering it up. Right? Like I'm assuming he's going to the pocket of spring to like try and help. It's almost like the remember the rain episode where the one like father was like every time the rain was about to come, he was like pulled outside. Interesting. Oh yeah, he was like he would fall asleep, so it was almost like hibernation. Yeah, I think the problem is he's poking his nose where he shouldn't. He's trying to be helpful. Also, can we talk about Ginko's coat? Styling. It's difficult to like explain that though to like a kid. Especially like, the dangers, right? Like how do you explain to a child the dangers of what they're messing with? He's sleepy. I don't know, wouldn't it like be a little bit difficult for him to stick around because if there's two people who could attract Mushi in the winter though that might be easier. See, you've put that out there now. That, like, it's probably not dangerous. The thing, too, is, like, I feel like Ginko, like, wants to stay somewhere, right? Like, he wants to have somewhere that is, like, a home. As we get with, like, the flashback, right? He wants to belong somewhere. He just can't. Interesting cut between the two of them. You'd have to always be worried about it, though, right? I don't know. This is just a lot of trust to put into somebody. I know he's been here for like a little bit, but like, maybe it's just me. To the spring, little pocket. Did his sister not come back and be like, where are y'all? It's nighttime now. Is he in hibernation now? Were we supposed to not open them outside? Was it just because of people finding out about it? I also think it's interesting to have like the butterflies though. The way that you can hear it too, like when he says like sorry and like it's on the side where you can't see his eye, right? Like he wants to stay, he wants to figure it out, but he also doesn't want to put anybody in danger. Interesting to say like the false ones because I'm like, we're having a time lapse here, which implies that like we didn't come back. Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. It's like they pretend it's spring. He didn't come back in the spring. He came back in the winter. Like a year later. You didn't wake up? And you didn't come back until now. Also, doesn't he have a different coat? I think that's a cool detail to be like, in the year he's gotten a different coat to wear. Yeah. I get it though. Like if he's supposed to be like the one helping and he's going to the place that has like done this to your little brother, I'd be like, what if something happens to you? Like what do you do then? Not much of a mountain climber. There's a butterfly. And we had the like chrysalis, right? So chrysalis, butterfly, which is also kind of like cycles with butterflies as well, right? Like you have like the larvae, the chrysalis, the butterfly, and then you have like hibernation, right? There's like migration with certain types of butterflies as well. Not that I'm like super well read in how butterflies work, but and like I was saying before, like we had all the quiet because of the snow, because it like damps everything. And then you have the spring and there's like all of this background noise. I think that's such an interesting contrast. I don't know, but hopefully we don't fall asleep like that. Poor little thing. Ugh. Oh, that's so terrifying. To just have like creatures falling around you. Do not fall asleep. There a way for us to keep our body heat up? Don't fall asleep, boy. They never listen to me. It's like they can't hear me at all. I was gonna say, I'm like, I wonder why it's kind of like luring creatures in with like the spring and then they're falling asleep. And I'm like, I wonder if it's like they feed off of like heat or something. That'd be so scary too, though. Again, like you're already worried because there's one person who's been affected by whatever's going on, and then the your one hope has had the same thing happen to them. Same question. Ooh, do not go opening things. We've already had an episode about that, but she can't see it. She doesn't even know what happened. Dear God. Ooh, but we also had the like chrysalis before, so like I wonder if something came back with the little boy at one of the points. That's a crazy visual. Did we sleep all the way until spring? You were in one place for a long time, Ginko, if that's what happened. Is that okay? That would be freaky. Can we prevent him from going back to the spring? Mm-hmm. The crystals that we saw. So he knew. He's a little bit proud of that. But be careful. Did we just like not try and fix the problem? Other than like educate him? We're just like trusting this child to make a good decision? Interesting. You talk about like people growing weak, but I wonder if it's like him too. He's like, even just like, will he come back? I'm like, I don't think he will because he knows he can get tethered to something, right? Yeah, they're invited for a prolonged stay, right? Like, people want to stay in one place in the winter because it's difficult to travel. Ooh, interesting. Again, like every episode of this show, I end with being like, oh, I have so many thoughts. But I think that this was a really good episode to kind of show again some more about like Ginko, right? Like we're learning more about who he is and how he functions in the world because we had in the last episode of someone like being like stuck in a cage, right? But it was like with family, it was with that like connection, right? Even talking about like the bamboo forest itself was like all interconnected at like the roots, and that is very different from what Ginko has, right? Like he doesn't have anything to tether him any place, right? Like he's constantly traveling, he doesn't have any family, he can't stay in one place for long because it's going to cause problems, right? Like he is constantly in motion, and because of that he has all these kind of like temporary ties, but we can see that he likes people, right? Like every time that he goes to a new place, yeah, he has a little bit of this like grumpy, standoffish kind of personality to him sometimes, but he does like people. He wants to help them. He wants to learn about them. Like he will come back to a place to learn about what's happening and to help people, but also like he's fascinated by them. And I think it's in a similar way that he's fascinated by like Mushi, right? Like he understands that Mushi are not all bad and all good, right? There are complexities to the way that they're surviving in the world, and he looks at people the same way. And I think because of that, I think some of that comes from the fact that he is separated from them, right? Like he looks at humans almost as something separate from him because he can't like integrate with them, right? Like he can't spend a bunch of time with them and learn about them. So it is like he's observing them in the same way that he observed Mushi. And I think that's just so fascinating. And like even in this, I can't come back because if I do, I'm gonna stay. Even him being like, who knows, is like a non-committal thing. But I'm like, I don't think he will. I don't think we'll ever get a moment where he sees them again. Obviously, some of that might just be like plot for the story, right? Like, why would we spend more time at the same place that we've already been? But I don't think that there's a high chance of him coming back because there's very few people in his life that he interacts with again. And it's usually from a place of like necessity as opposed to just wandering around, right? Like he had the one friend who was like a doctor, right? Like, that's because it's useful. You're gonna need someone to talk to who's like a doctor but also knows about stuff that's going on with Mushi and all of that. Not in the winter, because winter makes people like, it weakens people too. This idea that he might not leave if he comes back at a time where it's more convenient for him to stay, where it's easier to convince him to stay. The false ones will say that like winter, spring, and all of that. I think that's such an interesting line to have in this one, not only because we have this fake spring in the middle of winter, but also Ginko making his excuses and pretending that like he isn't attached, right? Again, like I was saying, he has this grumpy personality, but like a lot of that is him just being like, I need to keep certain things at arm's length, right? I can't get invested. I can't continue to stay here. So it's almost like this facade to help him stay separate. Fascinating every time I get an episode. Such a good series. And I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this place to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a Mushi-Shi reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.